What's good, my fellow GeoGeeks and MetaMappers? Spatial Ninja here, bringing you This Week in MetaMapping, where we cover the latest in GIS and geospatial news. And this week, we've got some great articles to go through. First, starting with a preview of the GeoWeek Conference 2024. We've also got an article from the Esri blog all about Jaguar conservation in Argentina and how GIS is being used. And for our main article this week, we'll be talking about what's new in ArcGIS Online, the October 2023 release. And that'll include some new updates to some specific apps, including ArcGIS dashboards and data pipelines. So be sure to stick around for those articles. Now, before we jump into our first article this week, if you would, please subscribe to our MetaMapping YouTube channel, as well as like this current video. And on our channel, you can find all of our recent shorts, other videos. This week, we'll have a tips and tricks video coming out for ArcGIS Survey 123. So make sure to watch that once we release the video. So let's jump into our first article from GeoWeek News. Exploring cutting-edge geospatial innovation at GeoWeek 2024. So GeoWeek 2024 is just around the corner, and geospatial professionals, tech enthusiasts, and industry experts are gearing up for an exceptional showcase of innovation, insight, and knowledge sharing. I've not personally ever attended GeoWeek, but I know some colleagues who have, and others in the industry who have attended this event and have found great value in all the different GIS technologies that are discussed during this event. So this article talks about a sneak peek of what will be on stage during this week. So emerging technologies for disaster response. Speakers will share the latest advancements in geospatial technology that aid in disaster mitigation, response, and recovery. Always a hot topic. Getting off the ground with UAV survey. So unmanned vehicle, aerial vehicles. Attendees of this session will gain insights into the latest trends and best practices and leveraging UAVs for surveying, offering helpful guidance on navigating regulation, choosing the right systems and overcoming challenges, and more. Drones is another very hot topic right now. NERFs, or NERFs, for geospatial and beyond. Neural radiance fields, also a hot topic in the tech world. This session will explore this new cutting-edge tech and how it's being harnessed in the geospatial applications. And their potential reshape of the industry, as well as practical demonstration of their real-world use case. Reality capture for accessibility. A series of case studies will showcase how this type of data can be used to better cities and buildings through the use of technology to assess changes and address shortcomings. Even in the past few weeks, we've covered 2 articles about reality capture being used with historical sites and capturing those 3D models for restoration efforts, as well as to create kind of augmented reality versions of those historical sites. And then a few other kind of main topics for this event focus on workforce development, diversity, equity, and inclusion. So this isn't until February of next year. But if you're looking forward to attending this event, be sure to stay tuned as the agenda will be released soon. Okay, so our next article from Esri blog, Jaguar Conservation Smart Maps Guide Ecosystem Revitalization in Argentina. So Rewilding, Argentina's Jaguar Reintroduction Program, uses GIS to restore the iconic species to pre-extinction levels not seen in more than 70 years. That's awesome. So let's jump further into the article. Talks about jaguars were declared locally extinct in Argentina's Corrientes province more than 70 years ago. Now, Rewilding Argentina is relocating captive jaguars, getting them acclimated to living in the wild, and releasing them to resume their natural roles in Iberra. D'Angelo advised researchers on the GIS-powered maps and analysis to track jaguar movements and measure their impact on the ecosystem. So we'll talk about some of the GIS use cases here. Says that the technology provides a snapshot of the ecosystem before species are released. Then it supports monitoring of distribution, behavior, and interactions once the animals are released back into the wild. We've got some pictures here of the jaguars. The team relied on GIS technology to help answer essential questions. Where should the jaguars live? Will they be able to hunt natural prey? And how many jaguars can the park support? D'Angelo and his team began by monitoring the animal populations. By inspecting predator-prey relationships, they saw patterns critical to the ecosystem health and stability. The researchers also mapped numbers of locations of marsh deer, capybaras, and other prey to determine suitable jaguar habitats. Then they went on to take mobile devices into the field to record information and images with GIS apps such as Survey 123, Quick Capture, and Field Maps. The collected data syncs to the team's GIS database and populates interactive maps. Researchers then use GIS analysis to understand and monitor jaguar interactions with prey, vegetation, and other animals. So here we can see some screenshots using different surveys in Survey 123 to capture this data while out in the field. Also says that drone imagery syncs to GIS maps, giving the research teams a bird's-eye view when the map shows capybaras clustered together, a behavior adopted to protect themselves. The team knows that the area where they feel threatened. So understanding where kind of the food supply is for the jaguars, where they feel threatened, how jaguars are moving. It says that a preliminary model of jaguar predation risk is being refined and improved to understand hunting and grazing behavior. Pretty cool use of GIS here. And then finally, to wrap it up, with GIS technology, D'Angelo can manage an expansive conservation effort by adopting a combination of GIS mobile applications and dashboards. Rewilding Argentina has the power to do more dynamic work. So I thought this was just a great use of GIS technology in the conservation world, as well as this effort to kind of restore the population of jaguars who were previously extinct in this part of Argentina. Great to see. Now let's move on to our main article this week. What's new in ArcGIS Online, the October 2023 release? Quite a few updates here, so I'm going to go through the highlights, what I think is the most interesting to myself and the community. So the October 2023 update includes new functionality in the map viewer, new tools, as well as time zone settings, plus other enhancements and new capabilities throughout the ArcGIS Online website. So let's jump into some of those highlights here. The first one is around the map viewer. So a few new improvements to the pop-up elements. When you're adding charts, you can now select custom colors and custom color ramps in those charts. To configure those charts to use the same colors, which are defined in the data layer styling, or apply custom colors to focus on specific charts. So if you are setting your colors of your symbology for the data, you can now align the chart colors, which is great to see. Some improvements in the pop-ups, a new box plot chart here as well, some new color ramps. This new capability is something that I think is very interesting. The ability to save group layers. So group layers is a new capability of the web map viewer. And now when you create group layers and organize those different layers into that group, you can actually save that as an item inside of your ArcGIS Online organization. So now you have a brand new group layer item that somebody can now add to a map, and it will automatically group those layers together. So this is great. Instead of republishing a set of layers grouped together from ArcGIS Pro, if you've got individual layers that you want to group that are already published, you can then easily group those through the map viewer and save them as a new item type. A new update here is support for oriented imagery. A new oriented imagery layer type, a oriented imagery layer type is a feature layer for visualizing oriented imagery in the context of a map. Map Viewer now supports viewing and managing oriented imagery layers using the Oriented Imagery Viewer. When added to the map, each point in an oriented imagery layer indicates the camera location and where an image was acquired. So if you've never seen this or used the oriented imagery capability, this is pretty cool. You've had to use this kind of in ArcGIS Pro. There was an Experience Builder widget that supported this as well, but now you can bring this data and have this oriented imagery tab here directly in the map viewer. So if you're using something like Quick Capture, you can enable oriented imagery capture. So every photo you create, you get this kind of view shed for that photo, and you can easily zoom in and view that photo and where it is looking inside of the map. It's a really cool capability here that now gets added directly to the map viewer. Another nice and new enhancement is configuring different time zones. So by default, the map displays the date and time based on the time zone of the device used within the map. Map authors now choose a specific time zone for their map, ensuring all pop-ups and attribute data are consistently presented in the desired time zone rather than being influenced by the end user's browser or mobile device. So this is a nice capability here, where if you are creating a map that you know your end users will be in a different time zone than you, you can set that time zone up and have your pop-ups and all the data reflect that desired time zone. Another great new enhancement is feature-to-feature editing, or editing of relationship classes. So feature-to-feature relationships link a parent to child through a common matching field. So you need to have a relationship already set in ArcGIS Online. You must have a feature layer containing 2 or more related features, which you can author in Pro and publish to online. But now a recent release of the map viewer was support for relationship classes and related tables. And now you can edit those related tables. So a nice new enhancement there. And as we'll see, this is now also reflected in ArcGIS Experience Builder and the ability to edit relationship classes as well. So it goes on to talk about some of the new analysis in the map viewer here. Detect change using deep learning, locate regions, everyone's favorite tool, Nibble, distance accumulation, some other raster functions, some updates to focal statistics, a whole bunch of new updates and enhancements. As you can see, more and more analysis tools being brought into the web space, specifically the map viewer. Some new updates to the scene viewer as well, not just the map viewer. One that I'm looking forward to is scene layer pop-ups now support arcade expressions and related tables. So having a lot of the same capabilities in the 3D web scene viewer as well as the map viewer. Some new updates to instant apps as well as some new applications here. One application that I've been looking forward to is this Atlas instant app, which is now at a beta and in general availability. Atlas enables organizations to highlight a collection of curated maps and layers based on a point of interest, a geographic location, a theme, or a specific event. So this is pretty cool. It kind of provides a lot of map viewer capabilities, but in a very condensed, focused web application. So as we can see from the image here, right, you've got the ability to switch base maps, open a new map, so you can define 3 or 4 or 5, 6 different maps somebody could toggle through. You could also define a set of map layers. So instead of all your map layers, you could say, here are 5 layers that I want someone to be able to easily add into their map, as well as your typical tools of legend, measure, sketching. So this is a really nice kind of condensed, almost streamlined map viewer application that you can configure versus giving someone full access to the map viewer. Some other updates to instant apps here. We'll be sure to share out this link so that you can go through all of these updates in details. We'll also cover some of the new updates in ArcGIS dashboards here in a minute, so I won't go through them in this article here. But there are some new updates to ArcGIS Experience Builder, a new analysis widget. So we've got analysis in the map viewer, and now we've got those analysis services coming into a widget inside of Experience Builder. Some other enhancements, as I mentioned before, the edit widget now supports editing of related tables, which is a new capability that differs from Web App Builder, which is a great new enhancement here. ArcGIS notebooks, data management, data pipelines. We'll also talk more about this here in a minute. So that's what is new in ArcGIS Online. Lots of great new enhancements, so be sure to check those out. So let's move on to 2 specific apps that have been updated. What's new in ArcGIS dashboards? A few new enhancements here. First, 3D content in dashboards. ArcGIS dashboards now allow you to include 3D content, which enhances your ability to create a visual narrative that promotes understanding, collaboration, and consensus among stakeholders. So layers within web scenes can serve as data sources for other visualizations and selectors, enabling smooth filtering of dashboard elements through actions. So previously, Experience Builder was really the only application that supported 2D and 3D and the ability to create kind of dashboard types of applications. But now Dashboard allows you to bring in web scenes. You can interact with your dashboards in a 2D and 3D environment. Great new enhancement here. Previous release of Dashboard released a mobile dashboard view, so you can set up multiple views, a web view and a mobile view of your dashboard. And a new improvement here is users can configure various dashboard elements such as lists, tables, and operational layers of maps as sources of actions on the mobile view. So more interactions on the mobile side, where if you click on a map or pan and zoom on a map, you have your widgets reflect those interactions. Another new enhancement here is the category selector. Category selectors are essential for filtering data within dashboards. In this latest update, category selectors have been enhanced with the support of contains operator. So kind of a new kind of SQL statement that you can set up on your category selector in your dashboard. And then finally, Living Atlas feature layers. So another notable addition to dashboards this release is the support for ArcGIS Living Atlas of the World standalone data sources. So you can not only add a map, but now you can go to Living Atlas and directly add content from the Living Atlas into your dashboards. Some great new enhancements to ArcGIS dashboards. All right, the final article this week, also from ArcGIS blog, is what's new in data pipelines. We've covered this product in previous episodes. And what data pipelines is a data engineering and integration application that was released in ArcGIS Online in June 2023. This is kind of like a workbench ETL type of solution directly built into ArcGIS Online, where you can bring data in, manipulate the data, and easily store it into your hosted feature layers. So a new update of this solution that has now officially been released is the ability to schedule your data pipeline. So in beta, scheduling wasn't available, but now that it's been released, you can easily schedule data pipeline tasks so you automatically keep your data up to date. You can schedule your data pipelines to run at specific intervals, such as every hour, certain time of day, or monthly. So if you've got an ETL process, which is pulling data from a cloud data store or from a real-time feed, and you bring that data in, instead of going in and manually running that process, you can have a time interval set to automatically run that data pipeline. So awesome, great capability here for those that have ETL processes that they want to set up with ArcGIS Online. Another new update of data pipelines is the ability to configure the schema for data sets in CSV and other delimited formats. This gives you more control over the data and how you want to represent fields throughout your workflow and in the output feature layer or table. So here we can see, we can come in and kind of manipulate the data schema and the data type for CSV files. And some other improvements in this really first release of ArcGIS data pipelines. So encourage everybody who does have ETL processes, maybe with Python set up, take a look at data pipelines, great out-of-the-box ETL types of capabilities. Okay, so those were our articles this week. We always cover a MappyMeme. This week will be like all other weeks. We'll cover a MappyMeme. So this week's MappyMeme will come from Matt Malone. When I accidentally change my symbology to unique values, we can see here it blows up your symbology to a whole bunch of different unique values. So always happens when you go from like a chloropleth map, or you've got some sort of graduated color scheme, and then you switch it over to unique values, depending on the field that you have set. Now all of a sudden it's rendering a whole bunch of different unique values. I liked this MappyMeme, and we'll repost it here. So this has been This Week in MetaMapping. Those were the articles for this week. Once again, please follow us on all of our social media outlets, whether that be Twitter or X or Instagram. Subscribe to MetaMapping on YouTube. Be sure to follow all of our other videos that we put out there, as well as This Week in MetaMapping. But thanks again for watching, and as always, stay mappy, my friends.